Why do you talk like that? It's so odd.
Oh, I just don't stop. Stop it.
No, don't stop. It's funny. Keep going.
Hey, it's alright. You're safe here. You can stop the funny accent.
Drop the
It-
accent
You see, in my
flat.
own
Like,
This is
habitat,
a
I
safe
actually
space.
speak British.
My God.
I find it
my
interesting how people are like, oh, Australian's just a rough accent. I'm like, rough? Look at the English accents, especially
yeah.
up north. It's
So-
barely
English is-
English.
We shall go to my home state, South Australia. Which
There's
town
states?
should...
Where's that located?
It's in the center of the country.
I didn't know there were states.
Yes, we have, I
Yeah.
believe,
Oh, there's
1,
only, like,
2,
5.
3, 4, 5, 6 states and 3 territories.
They named the East and they gave up on the rest.
Yes.
Northern, Western.
Sounds about right.
Well, you see,
New
South
South
Australia,
Wales.
right? South Australia was only like what? This part here. Everything else here was
Irish.
all owned by New South Wales. And then the British government thought that New South Wales owned way too much land, so they divided them up. They created Victoria, Tasmania, and they also gave away New Zealand to its own administration. They cut up Queensland. The Northern Territory here went to South Australia. Western Australia remained Western Australia because the East India Company was actually using Perth as a port for their navy and army.
Interesting.
But I live here in South Australia, and that's where we shall begin.
Kangaroo Island.
Yes, where do we want to go first?
How very Australian.
I want to go to Kangaroo Island.
All right, we shall go to Kangaroo Island. Which place in
Are there
Kangaroo
roos
Island?
there?
Yes, there's
American
wallabies.
River?
American River. Whoa.
Where is American
go.
River? Where is it?
It's so
On the-
real.
Oh, there it is.
Bay.
Why is it American River?
That's not a
Anchorage.
river.
This is
It's
like
a building.
Oh, it looks so. I thought it'd be more dusty and orange and have koalas and kangaroos everywhere.
Oh, this is the more greener part of the country.
This is false advertising.
Oh,
Where are my roos? Where are
I'll
my
be back.
kangaroos?
they're out in the bush.
Jumping around.
Can you walk, eh?
So what road are we on? We are on
Wait, look who's
Tangana
coming, Billy.
Road.
Daddy robot.
Oh, there it
America.
is. It's America.
Dude.
Whoa.
This is
We're in
America.
America.
Just how I remember it. Just a dirt parking lot in a garage.
I
Mm,
love America.
And the art center.
It's closed. No.
no.
Average Australian
This is a
farming
tragedy.
machinery.
It's
That looks like a vent duct with wheels.
It essentially is.
That's all you need.
How do you farm at all? It's so.
We use our
dusty.
hands.
I think they put seeds in the ground, Hecker.
But it's so. It's desert. It's all bush.
Not out
bushland.
here. This is an island off the coast.
Well, not out here. It's an island, but in
There's
the
an anchor.
mainland.
Whoa.
Wow, bro.
Also,
What
did
is
you know that
that?
barbecues are
Yanker.
free to use on the island?
Oh,
So
why
you've been
can't
to
we have
this
nice
island?
things in America?
And there's also
I
a
mean, we
toilet
have free
block.
to use barbecues.
Boy.
We do have free to use barbecues.
See, this is the
Usually at
kind of lights
beaches.
that we have here in Australia. They're very different to what you guys have in the US.
This
Do you
is
not
true.
get huge storms?
Yes, we do, especially here on Kangaroo
Ooh.
Island.
That thing looks like a twig.
I know it does.
Well, think about all the fucking wooden
guys ready
houses
for
we build in
hurricane
the in
season?
the in the fucking tornado world. You know what
Where
I
do you
I
think
mean,
this
yeah.
dirt road goes? Look at these lovely little cottages.
I like how some houses have like, like Jeeps for work and other people have like generic nice soccer mom SUV.
I know. That's the
What are you,
stark contrast.
Americaners?
And it's like it's a dirt road. Why do you have that? It's Kangaroo Island.
Also, where are you driving on Kangaroo Island? Like, you could drive across the fucking bay?
It's connected with a bridge, isn't it? To the rest of the
No,
place?
ferries. 2 big ferries. You go across the
Yeah, that
canal.
works.
Yeah.
Parking
I
unit.
forgot we have ferries. Like, those exist still.
Yeah, the camera
I've
won't
never
let me
been
go
on
any
a ferry
further.
before. This is a
I
tragedy.
have in New York.
I've
Yeah,
never been
New
to New
York.
York. Actually, no, I haven't been
Put
to New York
one
a
of the
single
Statue
time.
of Liberty.
I've been to Manhattan once, and that was the only time I've ever been to a big city.
So
other
you
than
got your
Pittsburgh.
little playground for the kids to keep them
That's
entertained.
nice. I like how it has to have shade.
Yeah,
They'll
without
boil
this, you
alive.
are going to
Rather-
get cooked
I would
alive.
rather have it have shade than not.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, ours should have shade too.
See, we get a
Go
lot of
down the slide and be
UV
boiled.
light here in Australia, so even when it's cloudy, you can still get sunburnt, which is
The
bullshit.
sun.
Well, that's everywhere. Like on an overcast day, you can still get sunburn. It's funny.
Well, surely
Sun is a
you build
deadly laser.
resistance.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, no, Australians are absolutely giga strong, absorbing all that radiation from the sun.
So that's
Being
why we're known for
kangaroo.
being built different.
The glossy black restaurant, eh?
Yes.
I mean, people definitely do adapt to where they're from. Like when I had a friend come from Georgia up to Mass here, and they were just freezing to death. I mean,
Oh,
it was January, but you know, still.
Oyster.
Would you
Yeah,
go to the
oysters
oyster
in
farm
Aussie
shop?
land.
Oyster.
Oyster farm
Do you
shop.
guys eat clam chowder?
I believe they do here.
Oh.
Clam chowder is
What
great.
have they got on the
So
menu?
basically, we found the New England of Australia.
Yay, New
Thanks,
England.
I love the smiley face.
the smiley
Yee.
face. Please park on the Tangara Drive. Oh, okay.
That's a road name.
That's the main road, yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
Public toilet.
Yes, we have public
You have
toilets.
to pay for your
Wow.
public toilets?
No, they're free because we pay taxation for that privilege.
Right up. The dick, eh?
The deck, yes.
The cafe on the wharf. That sounds nice.
It is.
That
It's
sounds nice.
more than likely nice.
Noise.
American River. What's so American
I
about
like how
it?
it's not even a river, nor does it look American.
Yeah, they just
what
ran out of
American
names.
features does this river have?
Well, they have Italians apparently.
Wow.
Oh,
They
Italian.
did 15-minute research on America, like research. There's a bunch of Italians there from Italian Americans. Went, good
To
enough.
be fair, Germans do this all the time. Germans just love adopting American culture. It's kind of like Americans like adopting Japanese culture. It's just kind of funny.
And then, of course, you've got a Viking longboat.
I wouldn't call hentai adopting
Yeah.
culture. Okay.
Ah, yes.
I'm afraid to tell you, Vader it is.
I don't think
Oh,
so,
hang
buddy.
on. What
Well,
do we
it's
got
because
here?
we have large military bases in both countries.
So they even have
Bathrooms.
electrical vehicle charging stations here as well.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting to see so many automobiles.
so technologically advanced.
I mean, it's still kind of a large island, you know?
Yeah, suppose so.
Boat.
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 Strangely small boat. It looks like it got scrunched.
Yeah, this is a
It
little
does. It
tiny,
looks
little
like-
itty bitty boat.
Wait, yeah, who's looking out that porthole? It's so tiny.
The Tonka truck. It's just scrunched.
It's so odd.
What else they
Hey,
got
people.
out here?
Oh,
I
not
like how the
people.
Google Street View car actually drove all the way.
There's only a 4-knot limit in the bay.
4
and-
knots.
That makes sense. It's a bay.
Oh, it's a 7-knot limit out there.
Wow. That's where all the cool kids go.
Rigging area on the gross road.
Hey, look over there.
Hey!
Americana. Is that
Well,
French?
not the Aussie
Yeah, there's a
flag.
French flag, a British flag, and an American flag.
Could be the Italian.
Oh, it could be the Italian
no.
flag.
It looks pearl blue though.
It's
white and
scrunched up.
I can smell it from here. It's French.
Franzorisch. Gross.
What else is over here?
Ice station.
There's a boat. Oh, there's the Google car.
There it is.
There it
There it
is.
is.
My
It's like
God.
a
It's
UFO.
real.
It's real. It's not fake.
It's real.
I love when people are too close to the camera, so they get like all fucked up in the picture.
Yeah.
Me and my friend were just giggling from looking at certain areas where people had like their torso cut off or like their head was like stretched.
No, those are just real people. They just look like that.
Oh yeah, Peru is a different place, I suppose.
I love that they have an island named Kangaroo Island. That sounds like a stereotype. Like.
Well, here's the thing, right? If I were to go back real quick, right? Go out of this, go down here. It looks like a kangaroo. You can't tell me that it doesn't.
Does it?
Yeah, that's the head, that's the body. So,
I
you
don't
know,
think that looks like a kangaroo.
it's hopping. It's hopping along. Like if it had legs coming down here and the tail's out the back here, it's got its like
I
tiny little
suppose.
arms
Oh,
here.
it's a
Maybe.
kangaroo that had all the limbs chopped off.
Yeah, essentially.
It's like ground beef, you know.
I mean,
It's,
there's probably kangaroos on the island.
So yeah, you've got Penny Shore, right, and then you've got Cape
Uh,
Jervis.
Jervis,
went to
that's a
check.
hilarious name.
The Google car recently went past my house, and it finally updated on Google Maps.
So this
Uh,
is this is
it
where they
went during a
bought.
time when I had 2 American flags up, so my flagpole is just 2 U.S. flags.
Why do you have
Oh,
2 U.S.
It-
flags up?
It's twice
there
the
we are.
American you'll ever be.
Because I had it up for July, 4th of July. I just was like, well, I'll just put 2.
So there we go. There's
Fair
one
enough.
of the ferries.
It's really oh wow,
That's what a ferry looks like.
It's
that's pretty
massive.
wicked.
Yes.
That is
It's
very
literally
big.
just a parking garage that floats.
A
Yeah.
little flag.
If the weather gets
Aussie
too
flag.
strong halfway between the island and the bay, the ferries usually just turn around and go back if it gets too rough.
Is it that far of a distance?
Yeah, it's like an hour trip almost. Hour and a half.
Jeez.
Oh, kangaroo head.
Yes. So this is the other half of the island. Well, this is the beginning of Kangaroo
Oh.
Island anyway. It's where you get off and oh, there we go. Semi trucks. Yay!
Trucks.
And there's the other ferry.
Oh.
Those
This-
semi trucks are going on the ferry.
Yeah.
Ugly
And they've got
dog
animals on them too. It's
transport.
sheep.
Why is it called ugly dog transport?
What?
He's an
Where?
ugly dog, eh?
Look at the door.
Ah, yeah. People can get away with those names.
I wish here in the States.
And look at it this way. It's carrying sheep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's carrying sheep to and fro the kangaroo island. I doubt anybody cares.
Necessary
Yeah.
resource.
I
Necessary
need my sheep.
resource.
I need to get my
Unvaluable
wool.
name.
Gotta shear them, you know, Minecraft style.
See,
How else am I gonna make my beds? You know?
there's even
Oh,
a skate park.
grass.
Nice sidewalk there. Nice sidewalk.
Green grass.
Yeah.
That's like
Just a little bit.
this really is like an American like place. Like it's sidewalks. If you have any at all, they look like this.
You're lucky.
Who's lucky, me? Or
No, just saying people
Aussie
in
man.
general to get a sidewalk.
See, as
Oh,
soon as you
right.
come
Budget
off,
Kangaroo Island.
yeah, this is the real estate agency. So as soon as you come off the boat and you want to look for a house, you just come here.
I would like one house, please, on Kangaroo Island.
Actually,
Aw,
funnily enough,
dude.
the
Freaking.
housing market on Kangaroo Island is amazing at the minute because like no one lives here because there's virtually nothing here.
And you can't. You have
'Cause
to
they
take
don't
a
think it's real.
ferry. You have to get an hour ferry trip to fucking leave too. I'd imagine there's not an airport.
Community business center. Here's what I want. I want to know what kind of food's on this place.
Seafood, probably.
Probably
Yeah.
lots of seafood. Dudley
Yeah.
District Hall.
I love
Yes.
seafood. I've had so little seafood.
I lived
but
near
I
a
love
town
that
called
shit.
Dudley.
We did see a restaurant earlier on.
Dudley.
Hey, IGA, it's our
Pincho.
grocery store.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that's
Hey,
fair.
look, a little old timey photograph.
Great deals for you.
Oh, there's a couple.
It's
I saw a window on the
$1.
left.
It's $1 for like 2 sauce bottles.
$1 we do. Goddamn.
I like how it's all kinds of like processed products and then just lettuce.
Yes.
Lettuce. Salad cup.
See, this is
you
literally
know.
just the main diet of the average Australian.
That's
Trust
how
me,
they
I
remain so
know.
powerful.
Sauce
Bro,
up my
where's
lettuce.
the Macca's?
Macca's.
Yeah, is there any McDonald's on this island?
No,
Oh,
no, there's no
Macca's.
fast food on the island, unfortunately.
Tragedy.
They must all be super buff then.
Oh, yeah.
The kangaroo. They all look like kangaroos. You're not
Actually,
gotten that.
maybe if we go to the more popular part of the island. Hang on.
Do they call it McDonald's Mackers in Aussie land?
Yes, they
Macca's.
do. So,
That's hilarious.
of course, this
That's
is
so
the
goofy.
Penshore is the boarding point, and then of course you've got to go past American Beach.
Traffic.
That's
So we'll have a
funny.
look here. What's American Beach look like?
Cattle? Question mark?
Oh, so there's the giant break there, so you can't even see the beach.
Are those
Lovely,
cattle?
lovely beach.
So instead, you get to look at
Maybe.
fields and cows.
Yum.
They're
that's a
very
fan of
rotund.
Love
America.
the cow
This
feel.
does look like America. Not gonna lie, this is where I'm from, baby.
America.
What do you mean maybe?
I said baby. This is where I'm from, baby.
Like maybe I forgot.
Maybe
Forgot.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we'll have fun, but I don't know.
And then you've got
No,
Island
outside of my high
Beach.
school, right outside my high school, across the street, not even across the street, just in front of it, it was just a farm with like cows and chickens and silos and all that good shit.
So it
It's fun.
smelled like cow
Oh,
manure
Simpson.
24/7.
Yep, it's great.
Unfortunate.
I fucking hated
So
that.
we
School. It was
go
awful.
from there to Kingscote. So this is the main city
Why does it smell
of
like that?
Kingscote.
Coat.
Yeah, coat.
Why is
Yeah,
it
it's King's
COTE?
Scroat.
It's coat. It's King's coat.
Why does it smell like that though? It's weird.
Because it is.
It's Aussies. I had to take a language class.
No,
Gotta-
f off. I'm not taking a language
Dragon's
class.
Rest. That sounds cool.
Wait, where was
Whoa,
Dragon's
dragon.
Rest? Wait, where the fuck was that?
It was a restaurant. It was a restaurant in the
Oh.
south.
South.
South of Kingscote.
Where was it? Vikings, Kangaroo Brewery.
I see Camelot. That's
Corner,
funny.
left corner. Left bottom corner, eh?
Move a
Chicken's
little
Rest.
left.
Dragon's
Oh,
Rest.
oh,
Here we go.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's where I want to eat, baby.
Hell yeah. Is it like a themed restaurant? Or is it like a
Well,
house?
apparently
It's just
it's
so-
Yeah,
It's
it's
literally
literally
Sweet's
just
house.
land. It is a property.
Oh,
It is a property.
but it had the little food symbol.
I
the
know,
little-
it's
little
weird.
Diner.
If you click on it, is there any pictures?
Nope.
Maybe it is like an in-house like diner question.
No, this
mark?
is the
I don't know.
diner. This the
Oh.
bush is the
This
diner.
is the diner. You feast on
You
the
go to the bush, man.
grass.
Yeah, you
Feast
go
on the
feast
grass
on
in
the
the
grass
bush.
like a cow.
A hearty meal, some dirt and grass.
A succulent.
Average Aussie diet.
This is literally just a residential neighborhood. Why is there like not even a not restaurant in the residential area?
I have no idea. Probably because
Have
it's
you
like
been to a
That's such a
suburb
cool
before?
name.
Suburbs never have anything in them. They're awful.
Come on, you.
What is this,
Go.
Loving Street?
Yeah, Loving Street or
Ah,
Lovering
that's
Street.
so nice. Oh, that's weird sounding, but still nice, I guess.
Lovering?
Yeah, I'm lovering it.
Oh, I forgot they drive on the left side of the road. How on?
Look at these cars.
Whoa.
Ancient ass car.
That's a Holden.
Huh.
There's a
A bike.
Oh,
motorbike
nice bike.
and a
A
boat.
terracotta roof.
Sick. Whoa.
Or shingles. Just weird shingles. No, maybe not terracotta.
It's just
Clay shingles, I think? I don't know.
yeah, tile.
Yeah, very not common here. Or at least not where I'm from. On the north.
They know what?
It's all fucking asphalt shingles.
Oh, I fucking love asphalt.
My house particularly, it's an old ass farmhouse, so it doesn't have shingles. It just has a metal
Oh,
roof.
there's a shop.
Yeah.
It's an
Ah.
ugly green. Ville? Ville?
Well, I'd rather have a tin roof than a freaking.
I like that nice solid
Oh.
brick building.
I love tin roofs. My great grandfather built his house with a tin roof because he just loved it, like here in the rain and shit.
I wish
It's very nice.
mine house with it.
We have some buildings with copper roofs.
Ooh,
Mm,
And it's
Camelot.
all
Kappa.
like oxidized.
There's a place called
Gimme.
Camelot. Where is it?
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. It's funny. Is there King Arthur here? Is this where he went after he died or whatever? I don't remember.
Aussie
Probably
When
not.
you die, you go to Kangaroo Island.
Yeah, you die, you go to Kangaroo Island. Closest thing to heaven, anyway.
Yeah,
Yep.
hell yeah.
There's a van.
Some might call it purgatory.
Is that parking? Oh, it's just diagonal. That's peculiar.
Well,
No,
the
they don't
cars
like
are
that.
actually normal sized and not comically big.
Well, I did see an SUV earlier that was
Oh, there's a
ginormous.
police car.
It's like the coppers,
Oh, it's the fuzz.
The fuzz.
the roses.
Is that the only police officer? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
literally.
he's really
Cruiser.
strong.
They're the only
one
police on
really-
the island, and they don't get much like crime at all here. Because like, where are
I
you gonna
wouldn't
run?
imagine.
Where are you
It'd
gonna
probably
run?
be
Be
what are you
honest.
gonna- What are you gonna rob? Even it's like a little fucking village essentially.
You could be like an old timey villain.
Varn Bakery. Bakery Rabbit.
I like it's called local bakery.
Yeah.
It sure is.
It's literally the only one. Kangaroo Island
Kangaroo
Council.
Island Council.
The council.
The council
Well, a
This
rules
is
kangaroo
outside
court is
your
not a good
face.
thing. I don't know about the
Yeah.
kangaroo
This
council.
is literally kangaroo court.
Uh-oh.
Do they even
That's
have a
funny.
courthouse?
Yeah, that is the
Surely they
courthouse.
do.
Oh.
It's the cancel.
It doubles
Look,
as
see,
both
they-
the council building and the court building, and pretty much the general
Ah.
meeting hall and every other bit of garbage. The local library.
They got the big
Information
radio
center.
tower at the top, so they can
Yes.
put all
So-
the 5G waves in everyone.
So is all of Kangaroo Island a town?
Pretty much, it's like one
No,
big
I mean-
town.
There's Bella.
Bella.
Or
Bella.
maybe they're boroughs.
Oh, here we go. There's a nice little restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Little pizza,
Pizza
place.
cafe.
Pizza.
Yeah, there we are.
Pizza.
Right next to the
Pizza,
real
pizza.
estate agent.
Sentimental.
They
Right.
have to share. I mean, if you were going on break and you worked at that insurance agency, that'd be nice.
If I'm an old ass person going to Kangaroo Island, I'd like to buy a little house
See,
here.
these are the kind of park benches we have. Nice and pristine.
Mm.
And someone's left their coffee at the
I
place.
see you don't hate homeless
anti-
people.
Yeah, no anti-homeless architecture there. Or
If
what's
you're
it-
homeless
what's
on
that?
Kangaroo Island, you're doing something very wrong.
No. If you're homeless, you're on Centrelink and you're just looking for casual work.
Casual.
Imagine your country caring about the homeless. What? Nah.
We just pretend they don't exist.
Sometimes they're even illegal. And then, you know.
I'm
They
glad
can't
where I
go
live,
anywhere.
we don't
Kangaroo
have
shoes.
hostile architecture.
Yes,
That's nice.
here in Australia, it's legal to actually hunt kangaroos and get meat off
Oh
of them
yeah, I
and
heard you
pelt.
guys eat them. I have a friend who's Aussie. He's from Queensland, actually.
Oh god.
I mean, you can also eat them in Texas.
Oh yeah, that's, yeah. Texas.
Hawkins Real Estate.
A lot of real estate.
Doesn't look
Yeah,
like real
okay.
estate to me.
Sale. A travel center. Oh, look at that! Wait, look at that on the right of the travel center. Little fucking mural. Why are they
Where you have it?
look like that? Old mulberry tree. What
Yes,
a
they sell
different word
mulberry
for this.
oil.
Oh. King's.
What do you use it
King's-
for?
Skincare.
It's an essential oil.
Oh, it's one of those.
They're not bad. They're harmless at worst.
Well, I just remember the person. It was one of my teachers who didn't believe in like vaccines, and she was our computer science teacher.
Oh
And
god.
one of the students was like sick, and she's like, "Here, this healing oil will save you."
I
And
mean,
it was
it'll
like
smell
peppermint
nice,
flavored,
but it's
and
not
he
gonna...
had an allergic reaction to it and got sent to the hospital.
Oh
Lol.
my.
Antique
His
store.
lungs almost seized.
Antique store. Is Aussie land old enough to have antiques? I guess
Yes.
so.
You just steal them from other places. The English know how to do it.
English.
Oh.
Look at these posts. They're all coloured. Paintings.
You know
We
what's
color our
great?
fire hydrants. There's a
You know what's-
couple. There's a couple fire hydrants in my town that look like minions.
That's hilarious.
The minions.
You know what's great about living in the Mason-Dixon line here in Pennsylvania is that when I go to an antique shop, I see a lot of nice stuff, and then I see like little blackface dolls or Civil War memorabilia, and I'm like, ah, yeah, I'm very close to Maryland here.
There's a war memorial.
Upsetting. War? What war?
Many wars that
Probably-
Australia's been in.
Probably the WWA.
I just know the world wars. I don't know any other wars Aussie land's been in.
They were in Vietnam.
Were they?
Yep.
I don't know that.
Penguin Center.
A lot of countries were.
I thought that was just United States, Southern
Nope.
Vietnam,
No.
and
It was the UN.
China, North Korea, or not North Korea. Oh yeah, it was the UN, wasn't it?
See, this is the old ferry loading dock.
Ooh, I love
Very
docks.
long.
They're cool. I love ocean places. They build for the ocean. It's nice. I ever hate the ocean though, so I would
What?
never live.
The ocean's
Ocean's-
great. I live in a coastal city. The
The
ocean
ocean's
is my
scary.
friend.
It's scary.
The ocean is cool, but it is also scary.
Yeah, the
It's
ocean
scary.
did consume a bunch of houses that used to be
I'll-
on the coast at my city.
I'll
kinda
look
just got
at it
swept
and
into the
go,
ocean.
Oh, it happens. They'll build on sand, you know, whatever.
Skill issue is what I say.
The ice works. Cold
Ice.
storage.
Rainwater party ice.
They even got crushed ice.
Wow.
Yo,
Literally the most industrial building in the entirety of this town.
I love these old buildings. They're just adorable.
the laundry.
Laundrette. Laundrette. Yeah.
Some
9 p.m.
Oh, it's a
So-
Holden. It's a Holden. It's a station
It's
wagon.
a guy looking in disbelief at this Google Fire.
Strange
Who the
technological
fuck is
vehicle.
that?
What the fuck is that, huh? Mate?
That is a Holden station wagon with a V6
Beautiful
inline engine.
device. A V6.
Oh no, not a V6, an
Damn.
inline engine. Sorry, just an inline six. Yeah, that's it.
Twin motors.
Huh. Service repairs, sales.
They sell
Pain
chainsaws and blowers.
Yummy.
Lawn mowers.
I love those.
Toyota.
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 Hilux.
Toyota.
Hilux
Oh, yeah.
detective.
Oh, in giant letter.
I've seen a couple Hiluxes so far. Some old ones and some new ones.
Ooh, island variety. Anything and everything. What is this?
I do not know.
Oh, gamble?
Oh, it's gaming.
No, gaming.
Gaming.
That's so cool. Little games.
An arcade.
He's a little
Little
gaming game.
arcade. I went to an arcade place, or kind of. I went to like a D&D little hole in the wall. Not D&D.
Oh, they even got their own radio station. Nice.
It was like, medieval fantasy themed board game place. Like they had a shit ton of board games, and people would go and play D&D, and there were like private rooms, and it was really nice.
There's a place like that in my other town.
We're open.
I'm
But
in
that was
between
in
two towns and two
Akron.
states. So
Oh, what states?
Still haven't found a McDonald's.
Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Oh, Connecticut. I've never been to Connecticut. I've been to Mass though. I used to live there.
Well, Connecticut's basically just filled with nothing.
Yeah, Massachusetts is much better.
What's your opinion on Drake's?
I've never heard of this establishment.
Established
shopping
center.
1974. That's so recent.
They used to be called
So-
Foodland, but they got bought out.
Food land.
That's
What, you don't believe me?
hysterical.
Hang on, I'll go back 1 second.
Oh, I
It's just a
believe you.
silly
That's
name.
That's the silliest
If I
hell.
go
What the
from
fuck?
Victor Harbour, Strathalbyn, Murray Bridge,
All
Manham.
these funny names too.
Well,
Unless they
Manum.
are British.
no, Manham, right. When the settlers first arrived, they came to ask the natives what they actually called the place, and they said, oh, it's called Manham.
Oh.
So they just
Hey,
went
we did
with
that too.
They went with that because that was literally the only thing they had on their mind. And that's the only thing they could think of for a good name, so they just named it after what the natives called the place. Which
We named a lot of our
It's like-
places after
It-
natives.
Yeah,
it
a
tra-
lot of places are
it translates
names.
roughly to meeting place of birds.
That's
Right.
awesome.
I mean, we named the river that my city is known for River because we just asked the natives, like, what do you call this river? And they just said river in their language, and they went, perfect!
Perfect.
See, this
Most
is
of the
this is
states
one of the
in the
small
United States are
fairy.
named after natives.
that's like the two in betweens. It's like either the natives called it the place called River, or there's a lake that's near my place that's simply called Lake Chagagog, Manchagagog, Chabungamungagog.
Amazing.
Look at this man. Look how happy he is.
His little hat.
Oh,
and
you got a nice hat.
jacket, vest. He thinks. Yeah.
No entry.
5 is
No entry. He's so happy.
So you
That's
got like these
fair.
giant boom gates that come down when it's like not
a
on
lot
your
of
side of the.
fairies.
Well, that's because the Murray River is notoriously hard to get across.
No bridge.
No. If you tried putting a bridge on the bottom of the river, it would literally just sink in.
Oh. What about one of those suspended bridges that just
Nope,
just
that'd
don't do
still
that?
sink in.
Damn.
They're
Too
doing
heavy.
some repair work on the PS Mayflower over there.
Oh.
And then there's the
Arnold
PS
Park.
Marion over there. And this is the information center / museum. And there's
I
the
love
dry dock.
those.
what is a very tiny dry dock.
Established 1876. Imagine being so young.
And then, of course, there's the Marion. She's the last official wood-fired paddle steamer anywhere in the world.
Oh,
Nice.
that's really cool.
The only place to see freaking paddle steamers now is down there in the bayou, down in Louisiana.
What's your opinion on Scrooges?
There's 3 of them. I know that for sure.
And then Scrooge is the guy from Christmas Carol. Thanks, Charles Dickens.
What else we got here? Madam Hungry Horse. Or House. Hungry House.
Hungry House.
Yes.
That's what a name. These Aussies, fantastic with their naming conventions.
And then, of course, you got your local bottle-o, you got your local hotel.
This looks a lot like Louisiana.
It feels like it. And then you got your hardware store. What else we got here? We
My ear
got
won't stop ringing.
Jet Pilot, premium water sports dealer. What else we got here?
Yeah.
Madam Takeaway.
Oh, takeaway.
Yeah, it's like takeout.
Uh,
Oh,
You know, like
mural.
takeout food, fast food.
yeah.
There's a beautiful,
I had a
nice.
steamboat.
Yes, it's
A
the
paddle boat,
Marion.
sorry.
Ooh, look at that, buddy chum.
Oh, what's that?
Anytime I think of a steamboat, I think of that lovely old novel, The Heart of Darkness.
What's your opinion on the Butter Factory?
I
My
love
God.
household goods, bric-a-brac,
I wonder what they
and new
sell.
furniture. I wonder what they sell.
Knickknacks.
And curios. I love antique shops. They're
Yeah.
so fucking great. I go in there. Like once during winter I went into one and they had like Christmas music playing in the shop. And I like went into the next room over and they had a fucking old-timey 1930s vacuum radio. And it was the thing playing the music. It was
That's
entirely functional. It was fucking awesome. It's like $130. I should have got it. Like, goddamn,
Institute,
that's so cool.
1911.
Oh,
wow. Just an institute, eh? I wonder what they were institute.
Well, here's the thing. An institute building is usually used as a larger hall, essentially. So that's why we
like
have these. They're used for meetings of like towns. They're used for conventions. Used for general purpose meetings as well as like veteran stuff. So they
Ah,
serve
it's
as
a
like
cool
a
building.
multi-purpose building,
Yeah,
as
that's
well as
cool.
plays and other various things.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So that's why they're just
So
called an institute, because they literally do everything. Because you can institute them to do all the things that you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Light lunchies and snacks.
Yummy. Espresso coffee.
Mm.
Country style. What country?
This is the country. What are you talking about? This is like the most
Oh,
civilization you
this-
get out this way.
This is supposed to be the
If you
country?
didn't know, Australia's not a colony anymore. It's a country.
I meant like country as in rural.
Well, this is rural.
They
It's
can
like
have
out in the
rural
middle of
too.
nowhere.
Oh, this
America's
this,
not the only one with rural.
See, there's the
Yes,
toilets. There's
But this
toilets
doesn't
over
look
there.
terribly rural. I mean, maybe I'm just the
Oh
opposite.
no,
of
trust me. This is
spoiled.
like the Las Vegas of like river towns, other than Manum.
Oh, some stairs. Woo.
Woo-hoo-hoo. I look at grinding on those stairs on a skateboard. Oh,
I've
no, they have
been
little
I've
stoppers.
been
It's
down
segmented.
these stairs with a bike. It was gnarly.
That's awesome. Venom hair designs. Hey,
Man,
love that. Barber. Love
Two
barber.
barbers right next to each other? Damn.
Well, one's a hairstyler and one's a barber.
one's for men, one's for
Christian
women.
Drop. Very
Christian
epic.
bookshop.
It's
wonder what they
nice to have a
sell there.
bookstore.
I went to what they sell.
I love going to Barnes and Nobles and just poking around at the books.
Hell yeah.
And then of course you got the local hotel. I've been there a few times. I went there for like a state government meeting or whatever it was.
Oh, state government meeting.
Yeah, I was invited there
man.
by a lady called Joan. She used to work for Churchill as a bombs expert.
Oh, bombs?
Love cheese.
What bombs?
Fire bombs mostly.
What? what?
And she
what
also worked on
use?
a lot of early British missiles and got to work on the timing
Oh.
mechanism for the atomic
Look,
and nuclear
Foodland, right there.
bombs.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's Foodland, right behind you.
Yeah, it's Foodland.
Another food land. Yay.
It's
Very
really real.
The mighty South
Foodland.
Aussie, yeah.
For a second, I thought that truck there had a machine gun in it. It was
Yeah.
just like a bike or something.
It's a technical.
I mean, it's the right shot.
Mighty South Aussies. Yeah.
What else we got up here? Terror White Chemist. We got... Oh, Country Cafe's changed.
I love coffee. So true.
I mean,
Coffee,
for a
coffee,
really
coffee,
hot place,
coffee.
a lot of people actually really like using black on brick.
Oh, yes. Bakery. Bread, coffees, pies.
I wonder what they sell.
Pie?
Aunt Myrtle's Pantry.
Myrtle's Pantry. Or sorry, Aunt Myrtle's Pantry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pronounce it like that. Everyone rather I know here, where I'm from, does.
See,
but I
this shop front is very deceiving because there's actually a candy shop here.
don't. Candy.
It's
Wow,
like
I just
hidden
fucked
in
him over a
between.
little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's hidden. It really is. And there's the old bank.
There's a guy.
Yeah,
He's
there's
just holding his box.
He's like
Who just came
posing.
from the bakery.
friend.
He's just standing
Steal
there.
him.
I like how he's staring directly, like his whole body is facing the fucking car. It's not even just he's looking at it. He's like turning and facing it and everything. Friend. His little box.
This is a nightmare of a drive. That's someone's house there.
That's unfortunate.
I've seen so much worse. That is not fun though.
But I like his mailbox.
That's pretty sick,
It's
actually.
like a little
Ooh.
cannon wheel. Look at dang.
It's got two
A
eyes
wheel.
and a nose, and this is its mouth.
Little smile guy.
And there's like the private car parking.
And they lock him up so they can't get out.
No getting out for you.
And then, of course, you've got the Murray Princess down here.
Oh yeah. Look at that thing. Beautiful.
And then, of course, you've got the local blacksmith.
Oh,
Ah, yes. Very
as
crucial.
as you do.
If I remember correctly, there's actually an engine pumps museum somewhere nearby. Hang on.
Engine pumps.
Oh, god damn it, we're all the way back here at Jervis Bay.
Well,
Murray
I'm gonna go,
Bridge.
fellas.
Alright, take care,
Later,
brother.
Sayonara.
See ya.
See ya.
Where is it? There's a pumping museum somewhere here. Jet Tech Performance, Manum Crash Repairs.
What time is it for you, by the way?
It's midday almost.
Oh.
But
No,
no.
I was doing so well and I killed myself.
Alright, now, question. Where do you want to go next?
No, you was half.
All these funny names. Adelaide's not a funny name. It's just a normal name.
But Poo New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Come on,
forest
choose a
with
place in
two
South Australia.
Rs.
Let's go.
Go to the island of the cuckoos.
Where's Cuckoos?
Go to Streaky Bay. That's a funny name.
Oh, well, I went there in the last episode.
Oh, shit.
There was a lost episode.
Alright,
Go to
fine.
Yelpina.
Alright, we're in Streaky Bay. Where do you want to go?
Foreshore.
RV campground in the middle of the place.
RV campground?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, on the left.
It's just an RV campground.
Oh yeah. That's odd.
Nope.
There they are.
Trees.
Why are they little animals out there?
What are these trees called? These
They're
types?
scrub. They're called scrub bush.
Scrub.
bush.
Scrub. That's what they're called.
Because they're scrubby.
Oh, do you have like oaks and?
Yeah,
normal
we do.
trees?
Yeah, hang on. Give me a minute. Not here, but over in my hometown, we do.
Lucky.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There's Lyndoch,
Oh,
Mount
do you not have
Pleasant,
oaks and Fall River?
Williamstown. So
Of course we do.
all of this is Mount Crawford, essentially, which is like one massive pine forest.
Oh, in Pine in Aussie land. That's
So yeah,
nice.
if
I
I
like this
literally
little
go on
road.
this road, it's nothing but pine trees.
Oh, but they're so young. Look at 'em.
Well, yeah, we use them for harvesting.
Ah, I see.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's some
They're
pine
not
trees
native to
there.
Australia, I imagine, either.
No,
Yeah,
they
it's
are an
too
introduced
hot.
species, and they are a pest.
Oh,
Damn.
evergreen.
Hence why we have these beautiful ghost gums on the sides of the road.
Yeah, they are. These trees in Oz, there's some. They sure are unique looking, at least compared to like Western trees.
Weston.
Yeah, like oak and pine and maple and such and so forth.
Oh, there's a truck.
Ooh, where are you going, sir?
Now
Driving
you've
on a
got
tree of
essentially
road.
all these pine forests running along, and if we go back out, oh fuck's sake, why does it keep taking me there? Birdwood, Mount Pleasant. Where is my hometown? Here it is.
So, which Queen of Victoria is Australia dedicated to?
Elizabeth.
I see. It's like,
Even though
one of
Queen
those.
Victoria signed the Constitution for our independence, so technically our allegiances are more with the Queen of England rather than the King.
Ah, the Queen whom is dead.
Police station. West End
I wonder
Brewery.
if I wonder if you guys are ever gonna leave
Probably not.
British. That's just not really that big of a need to anymore.
No. Cafe, store, takeaway. Since
Takeaway.
1899.
Jeez. That's so young. Like we have so many stores out here like, oh, established in 1716, shit like that. Old ass places. Telegraph.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey,
Do you
you
want to
never
say?
know. You might be in the mood for a telegraph.
Oh fuck, Morse code. Beep, 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 beep. Fucking hate Morse code. So bad. Collins Corner. That's the name. So guys, I guess you also work colonists. Oh, it's another institute. Memorial Institute.
Oh, that's a hole.
Where? Where's a
I
hole?
they're called that. I think it's from Elden Ring.
He's big
I
gaming
am.
right now.
I got Abdul like bars Moonblade.
Dumb.
Oh, did you complete the quest line?
What quest line?
Never mind.
But no, as you can
I
tell,
went
this
through
is
the weird what's his face hole the scorpion dude's tunnel because I have Ronnie's ring or whatever, Dark Moon ring.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Because Ronnie gives you a sword after you talk to her.
She did.
Now I'm in a cathedral. I also killed Blade. I don't know why I killed him though.
Blythe
see all these clouds. This is
because
average
story.
South Australian weather.
Yep, lore apparently. You just
I
see
love Overcast. Overcast is
he was like
nice and
raving
beautiful.
outside of her house.
Oh yeah, and that's a bus stop over there.
I do
Ah,
love a good bus stop.
imagine having buses. Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
Imagine having transportation.
So funny.
We're
No,
getting a train this year.
I take my car everywhere.
And then of
We
course we have a
awful lot of money.
reserve.
I
Ooh.
can use the moon.
Reserved for who?
No one. Just it's a reserve where you can just sit down and have a picnic and chill for a bit.
Oh.
What do you mean? You
Not a
have
park?
nature?
Yeah, go out and touch grass, literally.
Why would I do that? That's gross.
Touch grass,
Are
you
there
filthy
are there
plebeian.
any Aboriginal
The
reserves
grass
like
could
we have
hurt
here
me,
in the
bro.
Yeah,
States?
there's a few up north.
Ah. 'Cause we
Um,
have
Because most of the
I think most
Aborigine
what is it? Most of
reserves.
Nevada is reserves. Are reserves.
Oklahoma is a lot of them.
Oklahoma,
I
Reservations.
know there's a few out near Alice
Yeah,
Springs and some out
reservations.
here.
That's the word.
Let's see. We'll go to Adelaide. Why not? Where do you want to stop in Adelaide?
Oh, look at all that nice greenery just surrounding the city center.
Yes, this is all
Ah,
Ain't that
planned
nice?
by the Governor General of South Australia when it was first settled.
what
He
a nice
wanted
little
the city to
town.
be built on a grid-like system, so this is what happened.
Ah,
Hmm.
because it's new. New
Was it
town,
a
new
good
city.
idea?
Yes.
Nice.
Unfortunately, no one else after he died seemed to follow the same plan of thought.
Oh, so
I
as you
like
go farther out, it
cities.
gets worse.
I
Yeah,
like cities that are complicated messes because they're nice, you know. So grids are
I
boring.
love the five-way intersection in my
Grids
city.
are grids are boring. I want weird ass roads.
Grids do suck. I would get lost so easily.
so the question is, where should we go in Adelaide?
Let's see. Let's see. Burnside
Wait a minute.
Village.
Is there a McDonald's?
There's an airport in the city.
There should be a McDonald's. Give me a second. There's a
Oh, a
KFC.
Oh,
Mackie
KFC!
Mackie Max.
We go to
Whatever the hell they
KFC.
call it.
Just here.
That's a restaurant. That's how you know it's real advanced
This
civilization.
looks like home over here. United
Finally.
States, baby. We got the cars, we got the roads, we got the KFC.
That's my white guy.
There we go.
And of course, someone's left their box just there at the side of the car park.
They're not even trying.
Not even trying.
It's not even like thrown out of a window. It's just gently placed.
See,
Is
we
this
have
some
a
taking an
nickname.
autumn?
We have a nickname for KFC here in Australia. We're called Dirty Bird.
Daddy bird.
What's so dirty about it?
Oh, cars,
You don't
yes.
want
I
to
was starting
know.
to get homesick. Homesick without seeing a shit ton of automobiles everywhere.
Let's see. Where's a McDonald's? Oh, fuck's sake! It keeps taking me to Cape Jervis.
Jervis. What a
Yeah,
peculiar
Jervis.
name. Eastwood, Nordwood.
There we go. McDonald's. Trinity's Garden.
There it is.
Big old Mackie D. Whatever the hell they call him.
Mecca's.
Can I go to the
Macca's, that's
Macca's?
right.
Yes, I can.
Oh boy. It's a playground. I love those ones.
Yeah, well, every McDonald's in Australia has a playground.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so all the kids can play, right?
And it's
I
also
used
got
to
a
play in
cafe.
the. Oh.
And it's an actual cafe instead of just a sign.
Cafe. This is so swag.
See, I like the contrast between American McDonald's and Australian McDonald's. Australian ones look very refined and nice. You go to the ones in the US and it's like the complete opposites.
Yeah.
We
that's
used
a
to
little
have
bit
a McDonald's with a train in it, but they removed the train and made it look modern, and it sucks now.
Go to Wendy's. Wendy's is better.
Wendy's has always fucked up my order every time I've ever
There
gone.
was a train, Vader. There was a train, and you could eat on the train.
That is awesome.
It was just a train was there, and they ripped up all the tracks, and it was just sitting there on the lot. And then when they wanted to build a McDonald's, they were like, "Fuck it,
See, we
put the
got the
train a part of the building."
Australia, meet your McCafe blend. See, they serve like proper coffee at these places.
Stellar.
Surely I can go back in time and summon back the train. Yes, I can. It's real.
He's so excited that it's real.
Well, because it looked so nice and cool. And like now it's just modern and sad and not unique. Cause look at this. I'll post it on the
Capital.
69th.
Capitalism.
It was
Oh,
like
money,
an
money overall.
actual
Oh!
train.
That reminds me, there's a little town somewhat where I live called Strasbourg, and it
Oh,
has
Strasbourg Railroad, yeah.
it has a railroad museum, and it also has a diner that is in an old decommissioned ferry. It's very cool.
Now, here's the thing. How do you explain this road?
That's average American or Americana road. Silly goofy.
This is the
Have you
most
seen
complicated
Houston?
intersection in the entirety of the city.
Oh, this looks awful. I think this looks awful more so because everything's on the left. I don't understand what's happening.
Also, there's a abandoned Hungry Jack's over here.
Hungry
Abandoned.
Jacks. I love Hungry Jack.
Yeah, if I
Oh
remember
dear.
correctly, it caught fire. And
Oh, and they
they
just gave up on it.
yeah, they just gave
They
up.
made. I like how they keep the sign there as like a memorial to the store, to the restaurant.
Our brothers have fallen silent.
I love the commercials for Hungry Jacks. It's funny.
And then, of course, we have a car sales place, and they have a slide to keep the kids entertained.
This is awesome. We should install these in every car dealership in the country. Methinks.
Look, if it can be done here, and it's even it's a Ford dealer,
Oh boy.
and they have two slides. They have one on one side and one on the other.
The children's zone. What the hell?
Where every child wants to be a car dealership.
Well, it's just so you can leave them there, and the parents can go look at cars for the entire day.
Nah, you
Yeah.
drag the kid with you. That kid's gonna look at those cars.
I've been dragged to doing that. My mother had to get a Jeep.
And
West
one of
Side
my
Jeep.
favorite hobby shops is here. Not that. That's the Indian restaurant. Come on, let me have a look. So it should be over there somewhere. There's a hobby shop that I really like to go to.
Oh, that's nice.
Lovely.
Lovely.
And then there's
Lovely job, lovely.
another hobby shop somewhere around here, I think. I think it's a little bit further up the road. Oh, yep, there it is.
Nice.
And then, of course, we go back. Go to Salisbury, Parafield. No. Actually, you know what? Choose a spot in Adelaide, and we'll go to it.
Ingle Farm. That
Ingle
sounds fun.
Farm?
What's over
We're
there?
in Ingle Farm.
It doesn't look like a farm to me.
It used to be
Ah.
farmland.
This
Now it's all
the
residential.
Spotlight Clovercrest.
Put the spotlight on you.
Spotlight. It's funny.
So I think it's a cheap shop, like, secondhand goods stuff.
Yeah.
Look, see, what do we got here? Clovercrest, Family Practice, National Pharmacies, Snap, 24/7, Workski, Australia. You got accountant, bakery, cafes, fruit and veg, nails and beauty, real estate, Australian Post, bookstore, a chiropractor, hairdresser, newsagent, tobacconist,
Oh, that's a thing.
ATM, butcher, discount variety, jeweler, school clothing, and takeaway. What more could you need?
True.
Yeah, see, Snap Fitness. Clovercrest Village, yes. What else do we have here? Jesus Christ, I've been going for nearly an hour. All
Would
right,
you like to see Americana Land? Funny Maryland.
sure, fuck it, let's go to the US.
Go to the United States.
We are in the United States. Where is Maryland?
Maryland is
It's
Washington.
near where Washington is, but not Washington.
Right, Washington. I don't know why it's called. It's District of Columbia. There's Baltimore. If you go Up from Baltimore, straight up. That's that highway. I live right off that highway. By the
How
in
very
Pennsylvania.
American of you, living off of
Yep.
a highway.
I live right next to Interstate 83.
I mean, I also live next to a highway, but that's because it goes straight through my fucking city.
Mm-hmm.
We demolished our town hall to make room for the goddamn highway.
Right there in Shrewsbury, actually, is where
Listen,
I.
Han, you know, it was a
Parking
really
lot.
worthwhile investment, that highway.
Ah, the
God
first
damn it.
thing you see in the United States is
Well,
a
you see,
parking lot.
Vader, we have the only city hall in North
Yeah,
America
it's suspended, man.
that's suspended over a highway.
So we're here on Highway
and
83.
it's
There's
just because of that stupid
Railroad.
highway.
Oh yes, Railroad's a town or a borough, very tiny thing.
It's a borough.
Go to Shrewsbury. I live Shrewsbury. It's like Shrewsbury is
New freedom.
basically a line of houses and towns, and then it's over, and that's it.
Oh yeah,
See,
the
Uh,
moon.
where
see,
are
this just
we?
screams to me horror movie, okay? Because I've seen way too much like horror films.
Exton. Where the
Oh,
fuck is
you're
it?
effing me in the
Oh,
arse.
oh, oh. Go that way
Oh,
down this road.
ExxonMobil.
Yeah. Let's get to Main Street. Main Street is this little intersection here. Um, this is my town, baby. If you go up that road to where you're facing right now, go up a little bit. There's a big bank. The
Oh,
bank
this looks
used to be
nice.
a yeah, it's old little village looking thing. Um, it's like 18th century houses. But if you go up on the right, you'll see a great big bank, and that great big bank is now a coffee shop and a library. It's very cool. I used to work there actually. To your right now. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. Nice little place.
Oh, oversized truck detected. What the fuck is
uh,
this thing? Like, the loading weight on that thing would be immense. I'm surprised it doesn't snap in half.
He's got to carry his bureaus.
yeah, buddy. Hey, Village Coffee and Cream. It's a wonderful little place. Look at all these like, SUVs and cars. This is the only place I know where there's a sidewalk, other than New Freedom, but it's farther away. I can't walk. I've walked here before. It's like a 2 mile walk from where I live. It's on a dangerous street road where everyone goes 50. It's great, great times.
Well, what the fuck is
Um,
that? That was like a classic car there for a second.
but there's really not much else. There's that church. It rings the bell. There's 2 antique shops in town.
That's me.
It's very tiny place.
Oh, it's a Lutheran church.
We got a lot of those here.
I'd assume so.
Strange people.
Pennsylvania.
Also, who's
Oh
this?
yeah, is
Sure.
Pennsylvania
Who
all
is this man?
Protestants?
Who is this man?
Pennsylvania is all Protestants, yes.
Ew,
Pennsylvania.
smelly Protestants.
German and Irish are the main demographic of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania Dutch, bro. What are you doing?
I'm Pennsylvania Dutch, baby.
What
and,
is this?
And
What is
just
this
German.
hippie
It's great.
flag? What is this hippie mobile flag?
They're
Uh,
so cool. They're so with it. They got the
So
box
cool.
fan in the window.
And then of
If you
course
zoom
that
out,
that
you
is
go. You
that
can
is
go
a
to a
perfect
bigger town.
contrast. There's a perfect contrast. Hippie flag, American flag,
Oh,
American flag.
yeah. So they aren't doing it right now, but these two houses that you're right next to regularly like put up like the house on that you're facing puts up like Biden and Democratic like shit in their lawn, and the house on the other side puts up like Trump and conservative shit. It's just funny watching. They're obviously neighbors who hate each other. It's a little
Proceed,
silly, goofy.
nuke these two. Please proceed to take them to church and have them touch grass.
True. If you zoom out to Redline is like I guess my hometown. I don't really technically have a hometown, but Redline's the closest thing to that. It's a bigger small town than this. It used to be a cigar place.
So
Factory.
Look
where
at
is
that.
it?
Wendy's, Walmart. This is home.
Uh, Zoom out a tiny bit more. I think it's to the northeast, if I remember correctly. A little bit more. It's a bit farther away, but between all the towns is just fields and country and wonderful things. Where is Redline? Should be right above Winterstown, I believe. Question mark? Up. Yeah, right there, baby. We also have a place called Yo
Oh,
near a river.
Windsor. Wow.
Wow. Brogue. I used to live in Airville on the bottom right. There's the mighty Susquehanna River. It's really big. But really, really wide, actually.
Makes like the Murray River look small in comparison.
Oh, don't worry. There are places in the states that are called rivers that look like fucking streams compared to this thing. This thing's about average like 500 feet. Go to Holtwood actually. There's a bridge and a dam. You were just looking at it on the down. Yeah, yeah. I have to cross this bridge every time I go to visit my partner. It's fucking partners. It's fucking terrifying because this thing is huge bridge. Uh,
Looks like it's secured all right.
oh, it is, but I just don't want to swerve off. It's like a 55. If you look to the left,
Yeah, that
or yeah,
barrier's
over
looking
there,
a little bit low.
there's a dam. You used to be able to walk on the dam, but then too many people killed themselves, so now you can't walk on the dam.
Of
Uh,
course.
there down the river there is a nuclear power plant. It's great.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, there's the Holtwood Dam.
Oh,
Love that
yeah.
thing. I used to, when I was younger, go when the dam was down and not like flooded. I used to like go around on these rocks and shit. Very dangerous.
I'd imagine
Um,
so.
45 minutes before they would open it, they would sound a ginormous alarm. And once we were halfway through, like in the middle, and they started sounding the alarm, and we had to like, because that's a lot of distance to cover on ground in extremely rough terrain. Um, so we had to get all the way back to the bank. Very fun.
I'd like to
Found all
imagine you were
sorts
just
of.
like sitting somewhere here, and then you hear the alarm going,
Oh, why are there so
get
many
the fuck out of
dragons?
there.
Oh
And you're just
my
like,
god.
That is
eh,
essentially
eh,
what happened.
and then you just
Because
hear
it's
the
like
water going.
deceptive. Any part with water that you see is at least like 20 feet deep. It's like craggy as all fucking hell.
I,
A lot of falls you could make. I'm not sure why we were allowed to go down here. It's so dangerous. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's nice. Nice little dam. But as you see, there's not a lot out here because it's just small towns and country between them.
Bethesda?
Oh, that's not Bethesda. Bethesda's in Maryland. We got New Province, Corryville, all tiny little places.
Collins. Kirkwood.
Yeah, if you want to see some real places, you go over to New England.
Yeah,
Where's
a
New
little more than just
England?
countryside.
Well, it
New
wouldn't be a
England
name.
is
Well, I live
New.
in Massachusetts, the one that's shaped like a gun.
It's above Pennsylvania.
Top right of the U.S. Where
Yeah,
Boston is.
MA. New
Massachusetts.
New England's like a region, unofficial. I guess it's unofficial region.
It's all the top right boyos. Boston's
Yippers.
big as hell. Look at all that gray. It's such a pretty city, though. I love
Ah,
walking around Boston because everything's old as shit.
yeah. Heart of the American Revolution,
Hmm.
I can smell the tea boiling off in the river right now.
eh?
Yeah, Boston Common,
Oh
Beacon
my
Hill.
God, Old North Bridge, Old North Church, just like in Fallout
I
4.
know, it's just like Fallout 4.
That's literally all I know of Boston is
I
from Fallout
know,
4.
multiple people do. I had my friend from Georgia visiting up in there with me, and she just kept going, "Oh, it's the place from it's." And I'm like, "Yeah, Fallout 4. Yeah, Boston's a real place."
Fenway Park, like
Oh
Diamond
my
City.
god, it's real.
Are there skyscrapers in Boston? I thought it was all old timey town. Old
There's
timey.
tons of skyscrapers. Are you kidding me?
That was just old
It's
timey, you know,
there is.
buildings.
Except we just don't give a fuck about separating them. So you'll have like tiny brick houses next to skyscrapers.
Oh, you can go under this bridge apparently.
Yeah, I don't know why they're on one of the
Yeah,
boat
why
rides.
is the why is the why? Why would I need the
You
view
picked
down
like the
here?
worst spot to go. Go to Boston Common. It's just a big
I don't know where
square. There it
Boston
is.
Common is.
Oh, it's a
Bottom
big
left. It just says Boston Common.
big green, sorry.
It's green.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boston Common.
Oh, it's
Beautiful.
Swan Lake, just like Swan.
Shut the fuck.
Oh yeah, it reminds me of Victoria Park in
Isn't there a
Adelaide.
death beast in that lake or something? Whatever they're called.
A behemoth, super mutant behemoth.
Yeah, it's a pretty little park.
I like the
Yeah.
gaslight.
Did I kill the dragon? Nope.
Yeah, I love all the old stuff that they just preserved and just have lying around. Like I said, they don't give a fuck about like which buildings go where. So you'll just see skyscrapers next to like 17th century just brick buildings just chilling.
Actually, it'd be 16th century buildings. Har, 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 har.
Would it be 16th? Yeah.
Some of them would be
Pretzels.
17th century, but a lot of them would be 16th century. Appa Air Pass? Is this a Boston
Patties with
thing?
mozzarella cheese.
Jesus Christ, no wonder you
Ah.
people are fat.
That's some Caribbean food, so
Like,
you
look
want
at this
from
man.
me.
He's overweight. That man's overweight. These two are overweight. Fucking that trash bin. That fucking bin's overweight. All these people are fucking overweight.
Well, I
Fucking
hope you
dead.
know that Massachusetts, where you're at, has one of the lowest obesity ratings. Just wait till you go to the other states.
Yeah.
What's New Jersey's obesity weight? I mean, personally,
It's not that
I'm
bad. If you're in the Northeast, you're fine, Veda.
I am 160 pounds.
See, we have
But
these
That's like
yeah.
average,
bins.
maybe.
We have these type
Oh,
of
I'm
bins
like
in South
underweight. Like
Australia.
I'm like 6'2".
Oh,
I've only ever saw those in Boston.
oh, you're 160 at 6'2". Yeah, that's a little underweight. I'm like 5'7".
It's a
And I'm like
graveyard. It's the
160.
dead center.
Yeah. Full of
Yeah.
old, ancient.
Crusty
They're
people
and
that have long since turned to dust.
Go
I love
find Paul Revere.
graveyards. I still want to work at a graveyard.
I
Very
visited Paul
nice.
Revere.
I
He
literally
was pretty
live
dead.
not far from a graveyard.
Memento mori, you know.
It's
But
like
yeah,
just
it's still
up
pretty
from the
just to
hill.
walk.
Why is this censored?
We have a lot of Art Deco architecture in
I
I
like the
Boston.
Art
love Art
Deco.
Deco.
It's very pretty.
It's a very historic city. There's so much, buildings of all types. I'm glad that they
Yeah.
don't just rip down the old buildings and put new ones there. Like they
No,
just
we have a
retrofit.
lot of protections on buildings.
Dunkin'
And
Donut.
I got a Dunkin'
Yeah, you like the Art
Donut.
Deco Duncan?
It's better
I
than just a fucking.
Look, we have Art Deco buildings here in Adelaide, right? But they just stick with the regular logo. They don't even bother doing that. Oh
Yeah.
shit, it's the Freemasons. Oh,
The
lock up your daughter.
Freemasons.
Lock up your daughter, lock up your wives, quickly.
Hey, an American flag.
Oh
In case you
yeah.
forgot
Would
where
you
we
would you
were.
believe it?
In case you forgot where we were.
Actually, that reminds me, there's some Art Deco stuff in Adelaide. Give me a second. Let me go here.
Italy.
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
That's a fun name. I like that.
It's named after Princess Adelaide. See,
Ah,
look at all the public transport we have here. Bus, bus, bus.
beautiful.
Tram lines.
Big advertisements on it.
Oh, yes.
Bus is a sight for sore eyes.
See, we've got Art Deco
States.
buildings.
Yeah.
Really nice. I'm so sad Art Deco didn't take off because of that little thing called World War II.
Yeah.
Well, it's also just expensive to build and to upkeep, unfortunately.
Yeah.
See, you've got like this
I
nice.
But World War
should,
II really put a nail in the coffin for that. It's like
Well-
too much money.
See, look at this beautiful, beautiful building, and this
That
thing
is
has like a bell
yeah.
in it that goes off at every like hour.
I think every city needs a big church that has a bell that goes off.
See, I like how
we
you've
have
got
multiple
all the...
in my city.
Look, you've got like the big mining company and then the two big banks behind it.
This is fun.
A giant Christmas tree.
Oh my goodness. Why is it meshed?
So people
Or-
don't pinch shit off of it.
Ah, that's odd.
And there's the Victoria Square.
Oh, Queen Victoria. What a silly lad she was.
Hey, at least she
I'm
signed
trying to
our
find out the
constitution.
name.
She's
Where's
the
the
reason we
big
wear
fucking
black
roof?
at funerals.
There it is,
Because her
St. Anne's
husband
Church.
died. I thought that's if Trinity Church was in Boston, but that's in New York.
See, we've got
Oh,
trams.
I'm talking about the church that's in my city, my lovely city,
Oh, Fall River. I love
Fall River.
beautiful place.
We're a very
Question.
strange place.
Would
Almost
you-
everything's made out of granite.
Would you catch one of
Dream.
these trams?
Dream.
And then, of
What
course, what else
other-
we got here? We got another Art Deco building, which is a hotel, if I remember correctly.
I love this
And-
building. It's falling apart and we don't have the money to fix it, but I love it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just in the middle of our city.
See, there's another Art Deco building.
Here, I'll send it to you as well.
Oh,
It's
you
the
know,
biggest cathedral.
in Pittsburgh, there was actually stayed in a hotel that was like literally 1920s, like looked like it was the
Oh.
fucking Shining.
Oh, I like that.
Like, it was awesome. Ooh, that's a beautiful church.
That's St. Anne's Church in Fall River.
Nice.
We named a lot of shit after St. Anne. All the
Was she a
damn
good-
nuns.
Was she a good saint? Or she's like Saint Teresa and she puts in the heads of babies.
I
Wait,
have
what is
no
it?
idea who St. Anne is. There's so much shit here that's named after her. I have no idea who she is. Who are you,
Ooh,
St.
there's
Anne?
another Art Deco building.
Oh, the grandmother of Jesus.
Oh. I didn't think Jesus had one of those. I guess that makes sense.
Okay, so now we're
Saint
getting
Anne
into
is also
the-
revered in Islam.
We're also
Ooh,
getting
Even
into
the Islams
the.
know that Jesus is the best guy ever.
We're now
Look at this.
getting.
There's so much variety here.
Yeah, we're now getting into the Central Market District, which is one of the oldest markets in Australia. Well,
Oh.
oldest continuous market, anyway. So I'm not sure if I can go inside the actual market itself.
Oh yeah, when did Australia start to be colonized? Like
Around about the
19th century?
18. Oh no, not 18. 1777. Around about then. Around about the time America actually became independent.
So we had
So-
like a century head start on you guys.
Pretty much.
A little bit more actually. Been here since 16 something.
So you got Chinatown, one of the entryways in.
Hey, those are cool. Someone just called Torrent. Someone is Dark Vader.
Of course, you got the Commonwealth
I'm
Bank.
fighting like 8 dragons.
Oh, is Australia a Commonwealth? That's odd.
Yeah, it's a
Of course
Commonwealth.
it is. The British Empire, buddy.
Well, some of our states are not states. There are technically 45 states and 5 Commonwealths,
Yeah, Massachusetts is a commonwealth.
as is Pennsylvania. And
Oh,
Kentucky.
hell yeah, Commonwealth gang.
And, I don't remember
someone
the
got
other
chopped
ones.
off. Oh, they had like a bike?
See-
Is that what it is?
Yeah, see, I was confused with
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
Fallout thing when the people, the characters in the games are like, oh, we're part of the American Commonwealth. I'm thinking, hang on, America's not an empire, technically.
Oh yeah, I think in Fallout, like all of the Northeast just became the Commonwealth. But in the real world, there's a lot
Why?
of Commonwealths here in the Northeast.
I thought it
I
was
don't know.
all
They are
just
different than
states and
states. I forget
counties.
how they're different than states. They're weird.
Dominions. I don't know.
It's something a little more than just name alone.
Look at these beautifully wide roads with multiple lanes.
What do you mean,
No.
beautiful?
They got bus lanes.
It's all
Yes,
just
we have
imperialism.
dedicated
A
bus
bike
lanes
lane.
and bike lanes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Who uses bike? Who has bike lanes? Jeez. We need more car lanes, more automobiles.
No.
The name is, it means nothing. There's no difference between a state or a commonwealth.
Is there? I thought there was. Oh.
Mm,
What about a province and a prefecture?
well,
See,
it's
my
that's
firm-
getting a bit different.
It's my firm
Provinces
belief
are
if the
different.
whole world of Fallout is in such a shit situation, Australia's just there twiddling its thumbs.
We used to find a prefecture.
I mean,
on-
because like there's nothing, no reason to nuke Australia, and there's no one near
Sorry,
Australia
Aussies.
to be nuked. Like Canada's fucked because US is right next to them. So
Well, in Fallout, Canada's fucked.
yeah,
because
burn the
Canada is
Canadians,
the
kill them
US.
all.
Australia becomes like the
Canadians
new
lost.
Carthage.
New Carthage of.
I do like to imagine that Australia is just absolutely chilling.
Yeah, they're just chilling. They're like,
Ballin'.
like if it's like the 1950s, Australia would just have like a really powerful industry to dominate everyone else. It'd be like a perfect.
Well, when everyone
world-
else is back to rocks, then yeah, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'd have like our own cars, our own trains, everything. It would just be insane. because
Is
Australia would just be
Australia even a
scot-free.
nuclear power? Do you
But
guys have nukes?
we actually did have nuclear power for a very short time, but we got rid of it in the 1980s
Oh, good for you
because it was
guys.
considered
Too
too
much power.
unsafe.
Yeah.
Damn! Oh my god, the poison is just going away so fast. Is that the
No,
clean
it was
armor?
the containment
Clean
of
red armor
the
has very
actual.
high immunity. Yes.
It,
Like it's just the poison is literally just evaporating. Like it's
Yeah.
like the effect is just
that that
it's
Because
wasn't the
those
point.
guys live in poison and rot, so they're
That
used
wasn't
to
the
it.
point. It
So
was
it's
more or
good.
less the scare of Chernobyl, as well as finding an area to put the spent fuel rods, and that was like
Yeah.
one of the main arguments. And also the fossil fuel industry
Well,
really didn't want to be challenged either, so they were like really pushing it hard, saying that oh no, this is not a good idea. And now they're
Yep.
kicking themselves, going oh
That sounds familiar,
yeah, fucking idiots.
right?
Actually,
We,
that's the funniest
nuclear
thing.
power. We could have been so good. with nuclear
McDonald's
power.
and Hungry Jack's
I will be
literally
right back.
across the road from one another.
Mackie D's.
Look at them. They're not even like, just they blended in with the rest of the architecture.
I like that. I like how instead of trying to completely change an old building, they just kind of work with it. It's fun. It's nice.
they do that a lot in Europe. I visited, and there was like this ancient ass building in Berlin that
Because
survived the
Europe is old
bombings,
as
and it was just
shit.
a McDonald's. Oh, isn't like the Reichschancellery got turned into a Burger King?
Yes.
The where?
Hotel Grand Chancellor.
Huh?
I am the Senate. Hotel pickup and drop off only.
Is the Reichstag still used as the center of government in Germany?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I think
I
we
don't
all know
remember.
what goes on in there.
Ooh,
Chinese massage.
hell
I think they're getting a massage, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
And then there's KFC. Again, it blended in with everything
Hey.
else.
Do you know about
My
that cool fact about the Reichstag? About how it has a glass roof?
yes.
Yes.
And you let the public go walk up there so they can look down on the politicians to make sure they're not doing anything stupid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love
I
that
Actually,
so
love that.
funnily
much.
enough, you can do
I
that in
would
the
love
Australian
to see the
Parliament.
Reichstag in Berlin.
You can do
Oh, when I
that in
went
the
there, there was
Australian
communists
government.
outside.
Epic.
Yeah, they were just having a communist rally, and I was just looking at it. I'm like, huh, it's at least
Where's
100 people.
where's Aussie Parliament hosted? Like, we could be Parliament though.
The
Australian Parliament
Austral
House.
store.
Like, federally or state?
Federally.
Federally, that would be in the ACT over here.
Are you guys also a constitutional republic?
Constitutional monarchy, technically a monarchy. Technically.
Oh yeah.
Because we actually have a Governor General who sits on behalf of the Queen.
Mm.
And the Governor
That's
General
nice.
pretty much has the same powers as the Queen, but he has to ask the Queen's permission first on her behalf, or the King in this case. Because we're now.
Don't you have a prime minister though?
Yes, we do. We have a Prime Minister. Our government works the same as the Westminster system in the UK, where the King
Oh
is the figurehead
yeah.
of both countries.
I forgot that UK had a prime minister as well.
I know, most
An
people end up
absolute
forgetting that.
monarchy. King Charles dissolves the parliament.
So you have Old
That'll be the
Parliament
first time.
House, which is over here.
Oh, that's old. It looks new.
Oh,
All things
that's
considered.
Old Parliament House. It's very well maintained.
Oh, I mean
Very white.
architecture.
So you've got
Architecture-wise,
the-
not even just the white paint. It just looks newer.
You've got
Sharp
the
corners.
British Parliament coat of arms, and you've also got the Australian Parliament coat of arms over here.
It's a fucking kangaroo and emu. That
Yes,
is hysterical.
those are our national symbols: a kangaroo and an emu.
Well, the national sister is lion and dragons, neither of which are found in the
It's a lion and a
in
unicorn.
Britain. Oh yes, unicorn. Neither of which are found in Britain.
One of them doesn't even exist.
Well,
Eventually
Wales
they'll-
has got the cool dragon.
And then of
Wales'
course,
national animal's a fucking dragon. Love that.
you go behind the. Where is it? You go behind Old Parliament House, right? And then
I wasn't
you're.
expecting Parliament to be in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
It is. It is. See, there's the Old Parliament House, the behind of it, And then you've got New Parliament House.
Oh,
What the hell? Are you trying to send a message to space?
that does look
Probably.
new. Oh, yeah, looks like a fucking bunker, almost.
Yeah, they're like harnessing energy from the ground. What the hell is this?
Well, essentially the idea was to build it into the hill that was here
Hmm,
to make it,
I see
line
that.
up with the old building, and also further out from the old Parliament House is the War Memorial. And it
Why'd
lines
they
up
make
with
a
the
new
mountain
parliament?
range. Because the old one wasn't big enough.
Why not make it bigger? It's what we do.
No, we
Things
had to
around
build
it.
we had to build a new one.
Our capital building's been our capital since our nation's been, or since Washington D.C. has existed.
Well, it was big as shit from the beginning. Well, plus it did burn down, and we got to rebuild it. So
We rebuilt it and we put 2 giant wings on it.
But of course,
Mhm.
Our House
that's
and
the
Senate.
federal government. The state government building is
Adelaide again.
yeah, the
Oh yeah, I
state
forgot
government
we have state government building. This one in
building
Harrisburg, actually.
is somewhere here. Yep, that's the building.
See,
Oh, that's
ooh,
pretty.
I like the. It's not just solid white. It's like
Oh,
gray and.
is that made out of granite?
Yes, it's all granite.
I fucking love granite.
Some Corinthian columns.
Yes,
Beautiful.
sir.
All of it's
Beautiful.
granite, even the steps.
This looks older than the
Oh
old
yeah,
Parliament building.
this is how building should look.
Well,
Hell yeah.
this came
Totally.
before the federal parliament building. This was built like nearly 20 years
Oh,
earlier.
Granite.
that makes sense.
It's
See, the
huge.
city I live in is literally called Granite City. All our curbs are made out of granite because we just had so much.
Yeah.
I fucking love granite.
See, typically you'll just see protesters just out here protesting something flavor of the month, and they're not allowed into the building.
I mean, that's usually how it is. You're allowed in front, not in.
And then, of
Yeah.
course, you've got the old Parliament
Oh
building
my
here.
god.
Oh, now that's old.
Now that's because it's so tidy. Holy shit. How do you
I
fill
like
all
the
your parliament?
skyscraper behind it.
How do you fill all your parliament in that
Hmm.
little tiny thing? Even
Well,
if a
you
new
don't
colony.
because there's not many representatives.
Uh,
Representation? What's that?
Yeah, exactly. The people don't know what's good for them. Why should they get to vote?
well, that's why we have an electoral college, because people are uneducated. Idiots.
See, railway station. This was actually designed by an
Whoa.
American.
Oh,
So it's
That's
America.
about
designed
it.
after the sort of Art Deco 1930s, 1920s style stuff. Nowadays, it's part railway station, part shopping center, and casino and hotel.
It's
I
pretty
want to
big.
go. I want to go to a like old railway station. I've only been to a railway station, and it was modern. It's the one in Philadelphia.
And then, of course, you've also
Um,
got the trams.
oh,
Well, tram
of
stop there.
those
There's one of the trams over there.
There she goes.
beautiful looking thing.
And then, of course, you've got these. If I could just get to the other side of the road, you've got these rental scooters that you can just scan a QR code on your phone and you can just rent it out.
Man, we got some of those in the cities over here.
And they get
Few,
thrown into rivers.
very few. I think I saw a couple in Pittsburgh last time I was there.
What do you think of these mascots for a car insurance company?
The
Uh,
strange creatures.
Strange
The
creatures. I love the
meerkats.
accordion looking bus thing.
Yeah, it's a bendy tram.
Oh. Oh, it's not a bus, it's a
Yeah, it's a
train.
tram. It's a bendy
Tram.
tram.
Huh. I've never seen a tram before.
Oh, really?
No. To be fair, I am from the country, so very few got of these.
Fair enough.
I've seen trains before. I've been on a train about now 5 times in my life, which is a
Actually,
lot for me,
I
and most of them
wonder.
happened within these last 2 years.
I
All
wonder.
of them,
I
sorry,
wonder.
all of them have happened in the last 2 years. Every time I've ever been on a train.
Look,
Oh.
train.
This is the Railway
Why so
Museum. This is where
tall?
I volunteer.
What a beautiful place. I love trains so much.
That's
They're so
Baruda.
cool.
That's a 3'6" passenger car.
Beautiful.
Yeah, would you believe me if I told you that literally a few weeks before the museum moved in the 1990s to the new location, which is this building here, vandals actually ended up breaking in, a group of teenagers, and they burnt half of this coach to the ground and then killed the cat mascot.
Oh, why?
Jesus, what the hell?
What do
Yeah,
they have against this inanimate object?
nothing. They just bunch of little
Uh,
shits. And they got off scot-free
oh,
too.
that's awful.
I know,
Why is it so blurry in there?
because it's not a particularly good photo.
Hey.
There
Ooh,
we
okay.
go.
It's beauty. Ew, Union Jack. We hate that.
Yeah, well. Actually, ironically, this
That's His
engine...
Majesty's colours.
Ironically, this steam locomotive here is French.
Well, that makes it even better. Just like, haha, who stole your fucking train, dumbass?
Actually, it's
Stupid.
funny. It's even more ironic because it's a British design built in France, sent to Australia.
Seems about right.
Because
I don't know.
when South Australia, ordered these Garretts to be sent over from the UK, the UK was like, "Oh, we can't produce these in our own factory because we don't have enough time or room to build them." So they outsourced it to France.
That's when? When was this?
1940s, 50s.
Hmm.
So just like right after the war.
Oh, makes sense. They had a lot of fixer-upping to do after the big war, big time.
So where else? We have this spot. Oh, we're inside one of
Oh
the
yeah.
coaches.
Has Australia ever had a war on its own soil?
Technically, that would be in the Second World War.
How?
The
Japanese
Japanese
people.
bombed it.
Oh, did they? I
Yep.
didn't know that.
Okay, so essentially, quick history lesson for you, right? During the Pacific Campaign, Yamamoto thought it was a great idea to listen to his superiors in Japan and bombed the living shit out of Hawaii, right? He didn't
Remember that one?
he only used half of what he had. And then after bombing Hawaii and what he thought was the main American fleet, it wasn't. Half of it had gone off to go train out here, and
Yeah.
only half of it was sunk, right?
Mm.
So he basically went, oh, okay, damage is done. We're just going to turn around and go this way towards the Solomon Islands. And it was
Oh.
reported, they were reported to have been spotted out here. The Australian Defence Ministry basically said, oh, no, 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 we're seeing things. There's nothing there. And then the Japanese sailed their way around here, landing troops along Papua New Guinea and Indonesia. And then, of course, they
Oh.
sail around here, split the fleet off, start regrouping around here, and, trying to organize what to do. But in the meantime, Yamamoto sent the rest of the bombers and bombed Darwin.
Oh. I didn't know that happened.
And essentially what happened, the Battle of Midway, right?
Yeah.
Which
Very, very big one
Yeah,
that was.
America.
Now, here's the thing. Before the Battle of Midway, there was another battle called the Battle of the Coral Sea. Now, what had happened is that the Australian intelligence agents, right, had actually cracked the Japanese codes and their plans to invade Southeast Asia. And the Australian intelligence agents actually reported back to the US at the Pentagon and said, hey, we've cracked their codes. They're going to be moving here and through here to cut us off. And you want to know what the response was from the United States?
What?
You're crazy. You're full of shit.
You're
You don't know
making
what you're
it up.
talking about.
It's in your head.
So Australia was like, no, send a detachment, you morons. So they sent one to the Coral Sea, and just by happenstance, they ran into the second carrier fleet of the
Oh.
Japanese Imperial Navy and
Whoopsie.
proceeded to get into a literal knife fight in the middle of the night. Everyone along the coast could see it, right? It pretty much stretched all the way from here. That's
God
how
damn.
big the battlefield was. and these ships were going at it. Now, this battle took the Japanese completely by surprise. They had no idea the US was going to be out here because they were operating under radio silence. But the Australians already knew what was going on, and they gave the US a tip off, and then they went out there and basically found out that there was shit there. Reports came back to the fleet near Midway, right? And they were like, okay, maybe the Australians were onto something. So the admiral in charge of the Midway fleet sends out a bunch of scouts, right? And the scouts basically go, oh shit, there's the first squadron, like the first Japanese carrier squadron that split off from like Yamamoto's fleet. And basically they bomb the living shit out of the first squadron because the Japanese are completely unprepared. They still have like fuel drums and ammunition on the decks of their ships. And they immediately panic
I
and
would.
go into full like brown shit your pants mode. They lose pretty much both of their strike fleets in a matter of like 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
So Japan is now left without a spearhead to attack the US, Australia, or even India in the span of 2 weeks.
Jeez. See,
Because
that's funny.
then,
I didn't know much about the Pacific Theater at all.
no, well, that's what happened. Australia basically went into full panic mode itself because it thought it was going to get invaded by the Japanese. And the Japanese had pretty much taken all of this.
Yeah.
And Australia was in real deep shit because a lot of the troops that were stationed over here could see Port Moresby being occupied by Japanese Imperial troops, and they thought they were going to just start landing all along the coast and start taking towns, and they'd be completely defenseless. You know, or Timor, they thought they were just going to straight up island hop over. But essentially what happened is that the Japanese dropped off all their troops and thought, oh, we're going to cut off Australia and New Zealand by essentially going around and then working our way through. But the Japanese the Japanese military advisors had seriously underestimated the size of Australia.
That's
What do you mean?
Put it
not that big.
put it this way, right? They were essentially trying to take down 2 countries that are the same size as each other,
Yeah.
whilst taking on China and India and the rest of like this.
Yeah.
And being the size of the American East,
Yeah, pretty
Eastern
much.
United States.
Now, put in mind they've lost both of their carrier fleets, which are their main fleets. They've just lost them in the span of like a week to the Australian and American forces. And guess what? Most of their yearly oil supply was on those ships as well.
Oh, poor Japan. Or not poor Japan, but you know.
So that's why Japan fought as hard as it did, right? To hold all of its, like, holdings. Because they realized, oh shit, we have to, like, grind the Allies now into a war of attrition. Because we've lost. But here's the thing, like, after the loss at Midway and the Coral Sea, right, the ships, like, what were left returned to Japan, and the Japanese are like, oh, no, it was a great victory. We didn't lose anything. So they just lied to the populace that they lost, like, almost half of their strike force in, like, a matter of a week.
Operating a lot like Germany. It's like trying to attack everybody at once and being like, we're winning, guys.
Yeah, we're winning,
Winner,
guys,
winner.
totally.
Totally. Oh, now the United States is in the war. This is going great.
Well, here's the thing, right? Japan, being the big-brained country that it was at the time, bombed Hawaii because they thought that would scare the US off of, like, Hawaii and get rid of them, so they could have uncontested control over Australia and New Zealand, India as well, and Burma.
Which is just such a silly thought, because our industrial might, even in the 1940s, was ridiculous. Like, we crank out ships like it's no business.
And you want to know what's even more hilarious is the fact that the Japanese, even up to that point, were still buying steam engines and other heavy industry off of the US.
And then,
And then,
Pearl
oh
Harbor.
no, all of a sudden, all those imports started not coming in, and their industry stalled. Who could have seen that fucking coming?
Yeah. I also know, like, the Japanese military, they all, like, fought against each other for funding.
Yeah, essentially, it was like
Because.
miniature warlords vying for power. There was two factions in the government in Japan before this all happened, where one faction wanted to go to war with the USSR and expand their, holdings here, and the other faction wanted to go to war basically with, the Allies or the Western sphere in Asia because they thought it was a threat to their stability. And that, and by doing that, they'd kill two birds with one stone because then they'd take all the oil and gas reserves in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. But of course, they know that Australia and New Zealand aren't going to take that lying down. Neither is India or the United Kingdom because they have vested interests in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. So they got to knock them out as well. So what happens is that Japan basically declares war on the US after bombing them at Pearl Harbor. And then Germany, in a big brain move, after, it controlled most of Europe and was still pushing into Russia, right, decides, oh, Japan's my ally. I better declare war on the United States.
I need more enemies.
Yes.
Haven't picked a fight with enough people yet.
So
That's what
Germany
Uh,
Germany hands an
that's what
official
silly guy.
declaration of war against the United States, and the US is like, oh, okay, fight me. So, of course,
Oh.
America sends troops to the European theatre, of which, America really doesn't care about the European theatre early in the war, right? So they're more focused on beating the shit out of Japan, which they're very successful thanks to Australia, right? It's and they will. America's government has never admitted this either. That we were such a big contribution to them actually winning the East Asian theater because we're the ones
Yeah.
who gave them the insight into how to defeat the Japanese.
Yeah, they sure
Or,
didn't, because I didn't know about any of this shit.
I know, it annoys the shit out of me that no one
And
knows
and I'd
this.
I'd be considered like a history buff. I love consuming history. I just nope, did not hear about this.
But no, as I said, Australia, right, had developed a system called the Over Horizon Radar, right, just before Japan declared war on Australia. And essentially, this radar picked up pretty much the entirety of that. That's a big circle. So
Yeah.
when the Japanese fleet went past this line, right, we could see where they were all the time. Even if they were under radio silence, we could damn well see them and know what size the ships were, how many troops they were carrying, how many aircraft were in the sky, what kind of aircraft they were. This stuff was incredibly important to the US when we were feeding them this information. In fact, the US military, both the Navy, Army, and Air, when we basically said, "Oh yeah, this new radar stuff is going to be really good," the the American military basically said, "No, no, no, that's crap. We don't need that." And then it wasn't until after the war they were like, "Oh, so that's what you were using to help us? Oh, we'll take that." Give Australia no credit at all for it.
I know we did it all. Actually, it was all us, single-handedly. Baby, let's go. United States #1.
Yeah,
God bless America, baby.
God bless America.
because essentially what Australia did, right, after gathering its forces back from East Africa, because all of our troops were caught up fighting the Germans in Africa, we had to pull them back over to Australia, train them up, and then start doing naval invasions against the Japanese. And then, of course,
No, no,
you've.
we kill the Japanese. You
But
just
here's the thing America also
No,
did
no,
send
China killed the
a
Japanese.
force of troops
China.
to
No, no, the
Morocco.
America.
Oh
Essentially,
yeah.
what happened is that the Americans were told, oh, you've got to help us in the European theatre by the United Kingdom. So they did. They sent over a, very large force over here. It was relatively uncontested and pretty much blitzed through all of here because there was literally no resistance. So
Yeah, that's what we'll see.
Montgomery, who's in charge of the British and Allied forces over here, doesn't want to be outdone by, Patton, because he was in charge of it, and Patton was known for being an aggressive, like, take all the chances type of leader.
Mhm.
And Monty didn't want to be outshined, so both of them start pushing really aggressively to Tunis, and then they start planning the invasion against Italy, which,
Tunisia.
Yeah.
they start landing in Italy, right? They get about halfway before it starts becoming this grinding attrition warfare. And both sides really get really shitty at how both Patton and Montgomery have gone from being these like really respected leaders to these, butchers essentially, who are trying to constantly one up each other. But no,
Sounds familiar.
half of Italy at that point is pretty much taken, and it just becomes this absolute slog fest of a war between the Italian, Germans, and the British Commonwealth forces, as well as the American forces that are stationed there.
Mhm.
And then, of course, D-Day then happens, and then shit really kicks off, and all the Germans have to pull out of Italy to go handle France, and this leaves pretty much a wide gap for the Allies to push through until they pretty much, meet up around here.
Yeah.
Which, funnily enough, when the Commonwealth forces were sent down to here to Italy, right?
Mhm.
There's an interesting bit of history I remember reading about how during ceasefires, the Italians would trade with the New Zealand soldiers for supplies during, ceasefires during the day. This was like a sort of
Yeah.
nonchalant thing where the Italians would trade whatever stuff they had on them, like cigars and shit, for other goods.
Oh yeah, they did that in World War One too.
Yeah, they did too, which was really bloody weird.
Yeah.
They're
but
just trying to get some stuff, man.
Have
but
some of your chocolate.
but
Thank
realistically,
you.
whilst all of that's going on, right? Pretty much
Mhm.
Australia, as well as Australia's gotten its shit together. Uh, the US brings a shitload of its support and troops over, and proceeds to use Australia as a springboard right up into East Asia, and they pretty much retake all of this really quickly. And Japan's like really boxed in very quickly as well. They've still got a
Mhm.
shitload of their troops, like caught up in China. They've pretty much pulled out of India and all of that, and they've concentrated most of their troops around here. So now they're pretty much, having to rely on all the tiny little islands out here, like Guam, for instance, to hold out against the US. Australia decides to do the smart option, right? Taking a naval force from essentially New Guinea all the way to the main home islands over here, right?
Mhm.
And they're making their way through all of these islands uncontested because there's no troops there at all. And they're like, man, I expect, like, even in the military reports, all of the Australian soldiers basically say, oh, there was like virtually no one here. Like Okinawa, right, which is known as like one of the most bloodiest battles on the US side, right? The Australian troops were like, no, we're not going to go fight in that. We're just going to go directly around Okinawa and just strike the home islands.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And as I said, once they arrived in the home islands, they thought there was going to be a lot more resistance, but there was literally fuck all.
Yeah.
And literally, like a day after they started navally invading Japan, right?
Mhm.
Guess what happens?
Boom.
Boom! Boom!
Boom.
Boom on
Little bomb.
Nagasaki and boom on Tokyo.
We
Operation
did not blow up
Doolittle.
Tokyo. We
Oh,
blew
not
up
Tokyo.
We
Hiroshima.
Yeah,
firebomb
Hiroshima, that's it.
Tokyo.
But
We
no,
didn't
as I
blow it up.
said,
Tokyo
the
Bomb
Australian, a couple
Convention.
prisoners, right, who are still captive in, I think, in a few islands over, which were here, described the sun coming up a second time
Oh.
In fact, one of the
Huh.
guys who was in like a tent or whatever it was saw one of his mates come in, and he just had this bright light shining behind him, and he thought he was like an angel or some shit. And then he
Oh.
looked behind him and was like, "What the fuck's that?" And it was Nagasaki
Oh
getting
yeah.
bombed.
Because nobody would have known what those are.
No. So after that happens, the
Pleasure.
Soviets decide to invade this part of Japan. And very, very quickly, Japan goes, "Okay, yeah, we're not going to win this war. We're not going to win this. Come on
Yeah.
now." So there was the council or whatever it was of like four guys who had to decide whether or not they continue the war or not. And Hirohito broke the tie by saying, "No, we're going to surrender. I'm going to go make a speech." The military commander was really upset about this, right? And the two guys that were for surrendering basically said, "Well, we know the emperor surrendered. We think we should surrender, but I don't think the army will." And the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, I don't think the army will surrender." So what ended up happening was a miniature coup on the outskirts of Tokyo at the time, at a radio station where the emperor had made a radio transmission, saying that they'd surrendered unconditionally to the United States and its allies. And the radio station was actually raided by the Japanese Imperial Army against Imperial guards who were actually stationed at the radio station to prevent them from taking it. So a miniature civil war literally broke out over the whole broadcast.
Oh boy.
So yeah, either way, essentially a bunch of Australian and British troops started landing in Japan, and again they described the landings as very uneventful. Who would have gathered?
Who would have thought?
But
Jeez.
no, the whole what's it TNO mod where the United States is basically a toothless tiger because they lost to D-Day.
I'm not familiar with this.
Okay, there's an alternate history video game mod for Hearts of Iron 4, right? Where the US basically fails to do D-Day or whatever it is, and they also
Yeah.
fail to take down Japan, and I'm just like, no, no, nah, nah. Like, the United States and Australia had Japan cornered. You cannot tell me that they would have lost.
Yeah.
Listen, the Japanese fighting spirit, it's too strong. Their
That's like
sheer will,
That's like
their
the A's
sheer
with.
will just made the American bullets disappear, you know?
That's like the A's with like Germany winning. It's like that kind of wasn't feasibly possible. The war, I mean, the war could have
No,
lasted
no,
a.
no.
The war could
Steiner's
have lasted
counterattack
a
would have,
long. The war could have lasted a long, 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 like lot more time. But Germany would have
Steiner's
lost.
counterattack, it would have,
No, I'm
I
afraid not.
I think
It's a little
if the
the
U.S.
Steiner counterattack, man,
Oh.
would have worked,
Yes, Annabelle?
Oh.
if the U.S. at the
Counter-
time, the American first did like a mini coup, a mini January 6th, or like
Mini
Roosevelt.
James.
Yeah, there was a little like uh, American Nazis try to overthrow the government.
They were everybody Nazis, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
like
American
yeah,
Nazi Party.
Yes,
Everybody
like
had
which
Nazis. They were British,
what's funny?
yeah,
It was
French.
primarily bloody made up of both German and Italian immigrants.
Well, it sounds about right.
Do you know who liked the American Nazi Party? A little man named Henry Ford.
Yes, I
He
know,
liked
and he
that
was
guy.
very, very, very familiar with Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. What a great guy. Thanks
Actually,
for all
funnily
the
enough,
automobiles.
Australia did have its own fascist party, but guess what?
Who did it back in the day?
They weren't they weren't the same rhetoric as the one in Europe. The one here in Australia was more about the purity of the Anglo-Saxon. In fact, they referred to the Germans as being inferior.
Oh,
Yeah.
They nationals.
Anywho,
that
I
makes
need to go
sense.
put some wood in the fire. I'll be right back.
What in the fire? God damn. Reading. Hmm.
All this talk about military stuff and war reminded me of a famous Portuguese war hero.
Oh, they have those?
It's like that knight that took like
What
a
do you mean they have those?
Well, when has Portugal fought in a war?
World War One.
Were they in World War One?
Yes, we were.
No,
We sent a very token amount of force, and the war was not very popular, so we stopped sending them food. But yeah,
it wasn't popular with much of anybody.
and Abiel Mijas, also known as the man worth a million. He
Hmm.
made a one-man stand against 2 German regiments and lived.
Kudos. Oh, World War One.
Here's
What
an
a
image of him.
what
what an amazingly pointless war that was. Nothing gained, everything lost. Oh, that's a guy with a Lewis gun by the looks of it.
Well, that was his weapon of choice.
Portugal. Huh. Did Spain
Everyone else
fight in the war?
retreated, and he just kept fighting.
I don't remember if Spain fought in the war. Were they
Spain
having
was
a civil
neutral.
war? Oh no,
No,
they had
they
a civil
weren't.
war afterwards.
They
The
were
whole,
doing nothing.
for whom the bell tolls and all that good stuff. Spanish Civil War.
They actually made a movie about that. Not the
For whom the
Spanish
bell
Civil War,
tolls, or
the
this.
Portuguese soldier.
Ah,
What was that like that knight that like took a castle by himself or whatever?
Oh, you talking about the Portuguese knight who shoved himself in the door?
He like he like did something. I don't know.
There
There's a
was
war?
it
Portuguese
was
knight. There's
during
a
the
meme video on it.
Reconquista. They were taking an extremely important fortress in Lisboa, Lisbon. It was
Lisbon.
under the control of the Moors there, the Arabs, and the Portuguese caught them completely off guard. Unfortunately, the one person who wasn't caught off guard was the doorman, the guy controlling the doors. So he started shutting the huge gates, and they did not have nearly enough supplies, men, or time, because the war was starting to drag on, to siege that castle. And that castle was literally the only fortress in Lisbon. If they captured that, practically the entire city and the surrounding area would be theirs. So
Mm.
one of the Portuguese knights just lodged himself in the door.
What like
His body
the
was
main gate?
crushed. Yeah, the main gate.
Bruh, he
His
just
body was
sacrificed himself?
crushed. Well, he didn't die right away. He stayed alive long enough to start swearing at the Moors and calling them slurs, and kept the door open so that his fellow knights could push past him and get inside.
Uh, that's funny.
Like well, like the main gate, like like the big metal thing,
Well, it was 2 big wooden doors,
Okay.
and he stuck himself
Is it like a
between them.
sideway closing one or a top down closing one?
No, like sideways, not top down.
Okay. I was about to say like top down, bro. Like oof.
But those are ginormous oak doors,
Oh yeah.
Big old
That's
thing.
a big motherfucking door.
Where is Hiroshima uh Memorial? Where is that at?
All right.
Hiroshima, probably.
There it is. Marti Muniz.
Oh, it's over here. I was looking at the wrong spot.
I like how just these random images in the 69th. There he is. Stuck himself in the door.
All right, I'm
That's
back.
really
Lol.
good.
Oh.
They-
So, anywho, where were we?
uh, World War II is over. Yay. And there
Yay.
never was
Sure
a
it
war
is.
There never was a war ever again because atomic weapons are bad.
I hate to tell you this, buddy, but we had the Korean War, the Vietnam War, then we had Afghanistan, Iran, and
Oh no, it's supposed to be over.
it's never over. It's never over.
I find it exceptionally funny that like the same kind of feeling people had towards the atom bomb is very similar to like machine guns. It's like, well, this weapon is terrible, and it's so terrible nobody would ever want to fight against it. Therefore, all war will end. The guy who made the Gatling gun actually made it because he thought it would, make people not want to fight war because it would just kill
Yeah,
them.
like the machine guns probably killed more people than the atom bomb, like by a
Machine gun
million.
has killed more people
No,
than
no,
the atom
yeah, yeah,
bomb.
but like by like
by
bajillion.
a by a lot, mostly because we've just used it twice. And we have much worse bombs than atom. Like, god damn, you
Oh
fucking
yeah, freaking
hydrogen bomb? Those,
hydrogen bomb. Oh
those
my
are.
god, it's the blue lady. I found her.
I like how hydrogen bombs were a lot worse than we expected them to be. Like, I distinctly remember this in sixth grade. My teacher told us how her father was present during the first testing of the hydrogen bomb in Bikini Atoll or wherever the hell that was. With all like the Navy warships out there,
Yeah,
Um, and they actually detonated the bomb too close. They thought it was far enough away, but they severely underestimated the power of the hydrogen bomb and detonated it pretty fucking close to the ships, relatively. Um, and they got radioactive material all over the ships. Apparently, her dad described like covering his eyes, right? Because blinding nuclear light and all that, and seeing his like fingers
yeah,
seeing
you
his
can see it through your
bones
stuff.
through his fingers, is really bad. Everyone was like freaked
Mhm.
out. Um, they all had to like abandon ship because radioactive material was really bad. It's all plutonium, I believe.
I know.
Um, because
Hold on, I
that
gotta.
one guy gave a fish an X-ray by just throwing it on a little plate, and everyone was like, "Oh, we should go now."
I have a cutscene.
Well, that reminds me, there's this place.
Ooh, a little village. How does this remind you of a village? Wumber. It's so red.
WUMRA. A rocket testing facility.
Oh, you have those.
Yes, this
Huh.
is where the British would test their nuclear weapons.
Fun. That's like our Nevada. There's some bumfuck in the middle of nowhere. Let's test a atom bomb. Though if it's any consolation, the reason Hiroshima and Nagasaki are still like livable is because we detonated it high enough in the sky
Yes, which
that it
was
only gave
calculated.
radiation for a couple of days. And not like Trinity, New Mexico, where it is still radioactive. Uh, very, very radioactive. People get cancer in like the surrounding hundreds of miles around the Trinity test site because of, they blew it up essentially just on the ground, which was not high enough, unfortunately.
Yes, which, that lady Joan that I mentioned before?
Hmm.
Yeah, she was telling me about how that was her department's doing. They wanted to actually test and see how high it could go before,
Oh yeah, dissipate.
yeah.
Because it's effectively just an air burst. It's just big air burst.
See what I
Um,
mean? Literal rockets.
yeah, look at that. Also, the glass that was created from the bomb melting sand is called trinium
Damn, I don't even get a kiss or nothing. God damn.
because it is absurdly radioactive.
She just dipped out on me. What the frick?
So
So
you can
was she
see one
part
of
of the
the.
Manhattan Project, or just?
She worked on the blueprint and diagrams designs for the mechanism that would detonate at a certain height when it was dropped from the aircraft.
Oh, she's still alive?
A few years ago, before COVID, she was still alive.
Oh, yeah, she must have been
Unfortunately.
old.
Well, she was nearly 96, 97.
God damn, that's
And
good.
you
Good
want to know
age.
what's scary, right? Is the fact that she didn't exist anywhere on any records.
Well, yeah, a member of the Manhattan Project. Kind of hush hush.
That
Well,
crap
she
was
was
kept
part of the
secret,
British
bro.
division or whatever it was. They were the mob in charge of perfecting the design before it was sent to the US and built.
Mm.
And here's the thing, she has a book. I have it here somewhere in my collection that was personally made by her, where she goes into her
Oh, that's
life
cool.
story, right? And she also goes into great depth and detail on how to make an atomic bomb.
Oh,
As well as
Well, that
a...
information isn't really classified anymore. Everyone knows how to make an A-bomb.
No, but what I find interesting is that she had all of her documents with her. Oh, hang
Mm.
on, 1 second.
Right.
Oh, I
Been
can
getting that
use
off.
the lunar grates. Okay, I was just.
Nope.
Oh, it's
Bye.
humongous. Yeah, that's a slow effing attack.
Oh, Hans, you know what's a fun little thing I have?
what?
I have a little lighter, right? A little Zippo lighter. My grandmother gave me. Um, it's from a atomic power plant, um, which is really cool.
That's neat.
Hey, Hans, can I ask you
However,
a question?
I really want to
Yeah.
check it under like a Geiger counter because she worked at a nuclear power plant
Can I
and
get down here? Is there
gave me an
something here?
object from it.
What about it?
Is there something right here? Like there was like a ledge here, and like I'm pretty sure I could get there, but like it was like in that range. It was like, am I gonna die?
Well, let me see it with my eyes.
Alright, I'm back
But you're
again.
nowhere near it right now.
I do not think
Hold on.
so.
I
But,
just got like ghosted by the blue woman.
Oh yeah. Did you get a cool sword?
Yeah, she just gave me a sword and dipped.
You did everything you needed to do to go get her ending.
Yep.
All
also,
done.
what was that book called? Choo-choo?
Cha cha
Ozzy?
cha
Oh,
chia.
yes, the book where she goes into depth and detail on how to essentially make a rocket and a missile and an intercontinental ballistic missile and literally
Oh.
everything else there is that she worked on, which
Oh, I'm
consists of like
sorry. Hello,
half
sir.
of the missiles that the US ended up making.
It's okay. Everyone can do that too.
But no,
What was
another
her
thing
name?
is that she had a cupboard with all of the files that she had kept over the years. And I
Mm.
shit you not, after she died, these like two government officers came in and had a look through her drawer to see if there was anything confidential. And they left with a few things, but not too much.
The
Oh,
fact that they left on anything is interesting.
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing. She said to me the first time that she came over to Australia, right, because she was rehired in the 1950s after she left the UK and went to go live in India, right, with her husband. And then she got offered a
Mm.
job to go work at.
There, Hans.
She got a job to go work here in
This
Woomera at
Looks
the
pretty
rocket testing
dead.
facility.
I don't know. It's just like this just makes it seem so sus.
Well, no, look, Vader, look at the way you're facing on the map. You're facing away from that rock structure that you're talking about.
Yeah, but down there,
Is
that's like
death
it's a plateau though.
of death.
How do you know?
Because I could just look at the map and know that's death.
Yeah,
Because
but
if I
like,
remember correctly,
Like, open up the map.
over here.
what
Yeah,
if there's something underneath it?
At Woomera Airport, my ass. This
It
is
could be
like
something here.
like a giant rocket testing facility or whatever it is. There's supposed to be like a giant building here where they launch rockets from.
That's
Oh, it's
actual
so
real stuff.
red.
Everything else is fake and not real.
See, it feels like a
Alright.
fever dream looking at this place.
Thank you very much, Hans.
Do you
Oh,
know the
I
name,
almost
like
killed
her,
myself.
like the book title?
Where
Maybe
the
so I can
Wind
find it.
Bloweth.
Where the wind blowing?
Yeah, let's see how this sword hits.
This really is just Nevada, isn't it?
It's like pretty mid sword. What's in the
Nevada,
ability?
but with more clay
It
or
didn't do
whatever
anything.
makes your
That's right.
soil red. Is it clay?
No, that's because there's a lot of iron in the soil.
Alright, that's pretty mid.
Oh, so it's just like Mars,
Well,
essentially.
Vader,
much.
if it's not built for your build, then
That's cool.
And then, of course,
Yeah,
you
but
go
it's like a sword
all the
though.
way up that road and you get to bloody Roxby.
With an intelligence sword. I'm so smart
Huh.
though. I found
do
this thing,
you...
Hans, and like I really like this thing. Like I like Darth Maul.
Oh, it's a twin blade.
Yeah,
There you go.
What's
What
the
is that?
special thing on it?
You
Woomera
do like this crap.
Attractions, Museum / Missile Park, Breen Park Wildlife Reserve,
You're
Woomera
literally
Dash.
Darth Maul. Like, oh my god.
Huh. Observatory. That's fun.
Yes. There's also a bowling
But it's
alley
like
as
I don't
well.
know. I need like arcane.
A lot of
Oh,
US
yeah.
troops used to station here as well, so they made their
I don't
stay
think I
like
have bowling.
home, and there's a lot of
I do have
American
arcane.
stuff once you go into the bowling alley and stuff.
Hmm.
Look at these people. Government workers doing their job.
It happens.
I am Darth Maul. All right, mountaintop of the giants, baby. Is anybody
But yeah,
online?
that's about it really.
Huh. That's pretty neat, though.
Anyway, I need
Oh
to
yeah,
head
I
off
can
because I
use
got
the
stuff to do.
moon.
Alright, Ozzy. It
Feel
was
the
nice talking to you.
moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Oh.
The
back.
moon.
Anywho, gentlemen, I shall see you next time. Hopefully. I won't be
shall
on
see you.
tomorrow. I might be on either Saturday or Sunday. I don't know.
Alright.
The moon kind of sucks.
Ooh. It's
Either way,
glowy.
take care, and I shall see you the next time I see you.
I have a brain.
Sayonara.
Bye.
Sayonara.